Blessed be my spiritualists, and welcome to another episode of Which Please. It is I, Odin the Seer, and today we are going to be doing the fifth part to our Chakra Oil blends. Now, let's get right into the nitty-gritty, shall we? Now, I know that we have discussed the fourth chakra, the heart chakra, and how difficult it is for people to feel love, but it's also very difficult for people to be able to speak their truth. I'm not talking about, this mofo did this and I'm going to tell you like that. I don't know what you think you do. I'm not talking about that, okay? What I'm talking about is people actually say, you know what, I do love you. You know what, the reason why I'm acting the way I'm acting is because I'm fearful of losing you. You know what, I need help. You know what, I miss you. I need you to understand me. Right? We see all these videos and of people, and they're getting angry with other people, and they're just all this conflict, and all this conflict happens because people are afraid to actually say what they need, to express what the heart is feeling. So this is a very important chakra for us to really try and get developed, to have it working properly. So, having said that, what are you going to need for this chakra? Oh, before we go any further, this the world meridian is connected to, I believe it's the pyramids, as well as Mount Sinai and the Mount of Olives, if I'm not mistaken, right? Don't quote me on that, witches, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. What are you going to need for this? Well, you are going to need your pure almond oil. Now, the reason why we're using pure almond oil is I like to have that vibration that almond seems to bring. For me, it's almost a seductive, right? You want what comes out of your mouth, what you say. You want it to be enticing. The power to entice is very disarming, of course, it's enticing, right? And it also allows for you to be able to have people hear you. You want your voice to be strong, you want it to be compassionate and loving, but you also want it to catch other people's attention. And also to help you be able to speak clearly and concisely. You will also be needing lavender oil. Lavender oil is great when it comes from bringing in that inner peace. It is great for allowing you to exude that peace in what you say. It also allows you to be able to try and speak those words that are difficult to get out. Those words or those feelings that you're trying to get through the throat chakra that may be a little upsetting or off-putting, or people may take offense to it. I find that when you use lavender in this, it allows for what you're saying to be more palatable. It's almost as if it breaks down those fronts that people have. So the true message that you're trying to get out will be able to come through strong and clear. The next thing we're going to be using is we are going to be using cypress oil. Now, I know a lot of the Witch Please family members know that cypress has a dominating effect to it, okay? We're putting this in here for that strength, okay? We don't want that shaky voice in what we're saying. We don't want our affirmations to be a request. We want them to be just that, an affirmation. So when you're talking to somebody and you're saying, listen, I love you, it's not going to be like, I love you. Is it okay for me to love you? No, I love you. Right? I miss you. I don't want you to treat me like that anymore. I deserve better. I forgive you. I understand. Right? We want to have that dominance within our voice. Not to control another person, but to rather be confident in what we speak when we are speaking our truth. The next one we're going to be using is chamomile. Now, why do we use chamomile? Because that again helps with us being able to soothe the emotions, soothe the anxiety. We don't want it to trigger the illusions we buy into, okay? We want it to be able to bypass those, and we want it to be able to, really touch someone deeply, allow you to soothe it so that what you're really trying to say does come through with authenticity, with force, with steadfastness, but it's not going to send people into a state where they're just going to stop listening to you. Now, what's different about this one is we also use some yarrow herb. Considering the fact that we are now talking about speaking one's truth, people have a tendency of being able to speak one's truth, but only when they're really angry or they're really hurt. Then they say all the things, or they're drunk. Then they'll say all the things that they want to say. They need something. They need either the anger of fire, or they need, alcohol, or they need something like that, or pain to be able to trigger someone being able to speak their truth. The reason why we add yarrow into this is because yarrow gives you the courage to be able to speak your truth in a loving way at all times. You don't have to wait for a moment where you feel that you have been triggered to speak your truth, or rather to speak your truth at all times without fear of persecution, without fear of abandonment, without fear of any of these things, just to be able to speak your truth in a loving, compassionate way that's going to allow you to be able to be received, understood, and never taken for granted or misunderstood. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we are going to take a pinch of some yarrow herb, and we're just going to put that right into the master bottle, okay? You don't need a lot of this. I just like to have a little bit floating around in there just to bring that vibration in. So now we're going to pray over this yarrow for courage. Okay, so now that we have added that in, we are now going to start putting in our sweet almond oil. Now I am going to be adding in 15 drops of the chamomile oil. And now we are going to pray over this chamomile oil to allow the messages that we are trying to be given to break down, to subdue any triggers that somebody may have in hearing our truth. Now the lavender oil, we're also going to be putting in 15 drops of this. And what we're going to do with this is we are going to pray over it afterwards, and we're going to pray that this will allow for us to be able to have the person feel comfortable with really what we're saying. We want someone to not feel like as if they're being attacked. We don't want anybody to feel like that. So we're going to try and bring in that peace, the disarming of people's triggers, to be able to allow them to feel comfortable and safe with what we're saying, allow ourselves to feel comfortable and safe in saying that as well. And in conjunction with the yarrow herb, that brings the courage for us to speak clearly. And last but not least, we are going to be adding in our cypress oil. Now, we're going to be adding in 7 drops of the cypress oil. We are going to be praying that we speak our truth strong, okay? We are not shaky in what we're saying. We're confident in the way we go with it. I always look at this cypress in this text, in this context, as the greater voice, or the master voice. Being a master of what you say, how you say it, right? Knowing that there is a confidence in what you're saying, and it comes from the deepest self. And we are going to be adding in 7 drops of this. We don't want to overpower everything, you know what I'm saying? So what we're going to do now is we are just going to shake this up and smell it. Okay, so I'm going to give it a shake, a couple of turns clockwise, open the bad boy up and smell. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And it's so beautiful with the little yarrow floating around in there. Now remember, this is a very powerful one, y'all, and I want you to realize that I have used this, yes, to balance my chakra, absolutely, but I've also used it when I want to start manifesting what I speak. This is the greater voice. This is the master voice. This is in conjunction with the heart. Speaking that can create and manifest on this plane of existence with great power. So I always tell people, when you're working with this, go slow, okay? Go slow with it, and always try to speak your truth. Break through the illusions, all the negative energy, the hatred, the anger, and whatnot, because you don't want to bring that into this world, okay? You don't want to do that. What you want to do is bring in things that are going to bring people closer together and help heal this planet. Alright, witches, so that is our episode for today. If you have not pressed subscribe, you know you need to press subscribe, join the Witch Please family, and do not miss out on a thing. You can follow us on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, as well as Facebook, and you can always leave me a personal email at witchpleaseofficial@gmail.com, or you can also leave a comment below. Don't forget to press that bell icon so you're notified when a new video comes out, because you know you don't want to miss a thing. I've said it before, my witches, and I will say it again. It is a pleasure to have you in my world. It is an honor to have you in my magic. And you are always in my heart. I will see you again on another episode of Witch Please. I love you, boo-boos. Bye-bye.